Hey guys, welcome to the Michael Vick Experience weekly new vlog that I'll be doing for the league. I'll just be reviewing the last week's matches, how they broke down, and also some stuff that I see, highlights, etc. Let's start with the breakdown from last week. In one of the matches, we had Son of Sam play Mike Vick underdogs. This one kept going back and forth. At the beginning, Son of Sam came out strong, but Mike Vick, I think it was most of his players were in the afternoon games, and he went up really high, went up like 90. But Son of Sam says here thanks to Phillip Rivers and Martellus Bennett, who he just got in a trade last week. Came up big for him. He's at 3-1 now. There's a lot of teams that are 3-1 in the league. So you can tell a lot of the teams are stacked. Mike Vick now is at 0-4, so he'll probably need to make some moves. I believe he had AP, so he got kind of screwed with that injury. In another matchup, we have the number one team in the league, Charles in Charge. They saw a pretty sizable win over Crucian, who is now at 0-3 and one tie. He was part of that one matchup in week 1 that had a tie. They have the second most points in the league, Charles in Charge, and with players like Jamal Charles, and I believe they have Steve Smith Jr. or Senior, excuse me. I don't want to get beat up by him. But yeah, they have a great team. Jordy Nelson, third highest wide receiver in fantasy this year, and I mean Jamal Charles. He missed 2 games, and he still has the second most points in the league behind DeMarco Murray. Great draft by them when they drafted Kelvin Benjamin. Highest score of the week for them this past week for the whole season. And good coaching too. 5 of their 9 starters exceeded what they were supposed to get. Yeah, 3-1. And Crucian will try to turn it around. They're at 0-3. In another matchup, we had the commissioner, me, and Aurelius. I was looking at Aurelius' team, and her team's really well, and I was wondering, why does she not have a great record? And then I saw this little stat. It said, I am at 3-1, but it said, if I played the same schedule as Aurelius the Illis' schedule, I would be 0-4 also, basically. Her team has played the highest scorer of the week 3 times. This was the first time that she hadn't played the highest scorer of the week. So she has a great team, but the toughest schedule, it sucks. She's always playing against the hottest team. Larry Donnell put up 27 points, I believe it was, but Eli Manning only sees his number, I guess, when they're in the red zone. Randall Cobb and Matthew Stafford kept her team in it. Really came down to the Monday night game. The Chiefs destroyed the Pats. But yeah, they didn't let them do shit, and the game was already over, basically, so when they took out Brady, it was even harder for Edelman. He put his lowest scoring of the whole week. In change, Keenan Allen finally had a good game. Frank Gore, he caught a pass for like a 50-yard touchdown, made a big difference. But yeah, 0-4 for Aurelius and the commission at 3-1. But that being said, the rest of the next week should turn out around. Another 3-1 team. We got Fourth and Drunk against my favorite avatar of the whole league, tearing it up. Game of Thrones reference. Drew Brees, Lamar Miller, who's done pretty well in No Sean Moreno's absence, and Drew Brees, they came up big for fourth and drunk. Most of his team did well, so his bench also played well. Tearing it up, 2-2, but the team is better than that. Just having a slow week, I guess. The other one, Mike Hawk, get it, and Gus's team. DeMarco Murray is a fucking animal. Excuse my language. I hate the fucking Cowboys, but that new O-line is legit, and it's just the first half. I've seen a few games, and they just kill it in the running game, and that just opens up the passing for Mr. Romo. So it's been really fun watching. Actually, I hate saying it, but I've actually had fun watching them. Justin Forsett also did well for Mike Hawk. They're 3-1. Gus's team is at 1-2-1 because they had that tie also. I think the Kirk Cousins quarterback might have hurt a little bit starting. Let's see some stats of this game. Doug Martin finally had a decent game. Justin Forsett had another really good game, 17 points. And yeah, any team that has DeMarco Murray this year is going to do well. Alright, and the last matchup we had, this was very one-sided. We have the Girthquake against one of the last undefeated teams, but this was their first loss of the year, the Reconnaissance. If anybody watches True Detective, you'll kind of get that reference. Andrew Luck killed it, and Antonio Brown quietly, probably one of the most, if not the most consistent wide receiver in fantasy the last 3-4 years. It's just Luck was. I think they played was it the Titans? That game was a blowout. 30 points. The Girthquake's lowest scoring player scored freaking 8.7 points. The lowest scoring. So, I mean, that game was a blowout. This matchup was a blowout from, like, the beginning. Girthquake probably would have the best record, apparently. According to Yahoo, if Girthquake played every other team in the league each week, they would be 33-11. So, pretty good team. His wide receiver core had the highest scoring from any other wide receiver core in our league, and good pickup by the Reconnaissance. They played the Dolphins D. That wasn't enough, obviously, but the Dolphins defense, I don't know if you guys saw the game, it was in Wembley, but it was horrible. I mean, I knew it was going to be a bad game, but the Dolphins forced a bunch of turnovers, so good play by them. Coming into next week, we have a couple of good matchups. A couple of 3-1s are playing. Fourth and Drunk and me, the Commish. Mike Hawk and the Reconnaissance. And another interesting matchup, Son of Sam and his girlfriend, Arilys. But yeah, a lot of movement. I like being in leagues that are so involved. So next year, I think we'll be switching over to ESPN because I like a lot more of the features. But for now, this is pretty cool. I like the type-ups that they do. And also, I'm going to try to see if I can move the trades to make it one day. If you guys have a problem with that, just let me know and I'll leave it. But it just seems to speed it up a lot faster. But yeah, good luck this week. Don't forget to set your lineup, or Sundays, but also the Thursday night game. And yeah, good luck. Use that waiver wire carefully.